Rachel Marie.
Hello. I live outside Boston, but I grew up in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, so I'm enjoying being home adjacent, you know? And I love driving on the kinds of roads that I have to drive on between Bethlehem and here, you know? Much more cozy than most of the roads I drive on when I'm touring. Feet firmly planted in a false foundation, I am standing up straight for all to see. I will let you in, my walls are thin, and things look different on the inside of me. I am a home that I have built out of paper and pain, limbs stretched to their limit, holding up walls against the rain. And most times I stay standing, I who do the standing, because I thought I had to be a fortress. Well, you look at me and say that my effort is blessed, and you'll invest in this mess, blood and sweat and tears, and that's okay. And I am not okay, and that's okay. I spend all my time clinging to a life that I don't know what it takes to maintain. This is not a place of rest, just stress, and all I know is to self-sustain. With wallpaper peeling, carpet stained, wood rotting through, I curl up in my center, but my center's rotting too. Burdened and weary, dark and dreary, because I thought I had to be my own rock. Well, you look at me and say that I can't do this by myself, and you'll be my somebody else, that I will always need some help, and that's okay. I am a fixer-upper of a human life, not equipped with the required skill to heal it. I have prayed so hard for this light to warm instead of burn, and God, it's such a joy to feel it, to build a home out of love and not of paper. And I know not everybody needs a savior, but I thought I had to be a fortress. Well, you look at me and say that my effort is blessed, and you'll invest in this mess, blood and sweat and tears, and that's okay. And I am not okay. No, I am not okay. I am not okay. And that's okay. Thank you. I'm I'm so used to worrying about a cable that I was like, oh no, I need to get my water. How can... I can just do a little dance while I get my water bottle. So how's everyone doing? Cool. Also, I thrive on interaction, so if anyone wants to just like shout at me, I will take your comments, questions, and concerns, your accusations, your affirmations. Or I can just do all the blabbing. That would be okay too. It's my job. It's not your job. It was not in the fine print that you needed to prepare questions or comments. So I said I grew up in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, and I grew up with my dad staying home with me as a kid, which I didn't know was not normal until I was older. And I was like, oh, house husbands are not the standard? Weird. But so he always was singing songs that he wrote. And so I think people always ask me when I decided to be a musician and how I started songwriting. And I think there wasn't really a before time. I think by the time I was conscious of what was happening around me, I was like, that guy who's in my life all day long sings the songs that he wrote. So I guess that's what we all do. So here I am. But I think I'll throw one of my dad's songs in here. Fences and attitudes keep us apart. Compromise tends to wear thin. He heard her knocking at the door of his heart, but in the end, he could not let her in. It happens too often when it happens to you. Too often it's happened to me. And I've been the villain, and I've been the victim, and I've been the blind referee. And I'd like to quit looking for paradise, or find it, one of the two. But I can't, and I won't, and I can't understand how the best is the best you can do. It's a hard thing to hear when a friend puts you down. It's a pretty bad feeling to fight, like an outlaw with orders to get out of town. Oh my, ain't it cold out tonight? Mostly it's misunderstanding, I guess. Mostly it's nothing at all. And you never miss August or the smell of fresh hay till November when the snow starts to fall. And I'd like to quit looking for paradise, or find it, one of the two. But I can't, and I won't, and I can't understand how the best is the best you can do. Well, they tell me eternity still is the same after you've cut it in two. But I can't understand, no, I can't understand how the best is the best you can do. Thank you. See, I do this. I drop it to D, and then I'm like, wait, why am I bothering trying to get it in tune when then I'm going to capo on the 8th fret? I do ridiculous things to myself. There was a reason, you see. There was a reason to do this to myself. It was because when I was in high school, I wrote a pretty tough song about a really rough time in my best friend's life. And I wanted to write a song for my best friend that was a positive song for my best friend. So I wanted it to have a lot of the same musical things going on. And so one of the musical things that I maintained was this funky tuning situation. But then it wasn't in the right key, so then I kept drifting up and up the neck until I found what had to be the right answer, and yet it's a ridiculous answer. But I like the song, so I hope you like the song too. That first one was called Not Okay. The second one was called Looking for Paradise, written by my dad. We're bouncing back to written by me. And this one is called Let Me Be, with 2 E's. And then I was like, I'll show you my bee tattoo. And then I was like, what? No, this... Not on YouTube, maybe. We couldn't have known, we couldn't have dreamed, with our bodies and words trapped in teenage time, what would be, on a quest for a love that would not give us up to hold us when we couldn't stay standing. We didn't know what we were planting. With you at your core, you are mine and I am yours, for worse or for better. I love you forever. I promise to. I promise you I do. I promise you I do. The biggest of hearts, the smallest of seeds, sown in the soil of our skin and souls, planted deep. You have always been there underneath it all, helping me bloom when we only knew rain. We didn't know how we would rise up again and again and again. I am with you at your core. You are mine and I am yours, for worse or for better. I love you forever. I promise to. I promise you I do. I promise you I do. Most days I don't know if I'm feeding this world, if I'm a seed or a weed or a bee. But I love you and I like you, and it's never been in spite of you. The friend you have in me, that you wake up every day and let me be. I am with you at your core. You are mine and I am yours, for worse or for better. I love you forever. I promise to. I promise you I do. I promise you I do. Thank you. Questions, concerns, new friends. Oh, thank you. I like both of your shirts. Oh, and you've got bees. Wow. Sorry, I'll calm down. Also, my grandma was wearing socks with bees on them today. Basically, we're all best friends. But nobody is as good of friends as me and Onyx. And my best friend isn't here because he's busy in Philly with his friends. So, I mean, my other best friend, Onyx, is here, obviously. So, I mean, if my best friend of over half my life can't be here, might as well have my new best friend, this dog. Everything's fine. Maybe I'm mad for no... That's gonna work. All right, sweet, solid, amazing. Thank you all for your patience. How many songs have I played? 3? Is that the truth? Okay, so the three songs that I've played so far are on my album False Foundations, which is yonder, flicking my wrists towards my merch box. So those are all out in the world and stuff. That album is 5 years old because, unlike so many people, when COVID hit, I did not hunker down and record. I hunkered down and disappeared. So I did a lot of writing, but I did not put out new music. But I am working on an album actively right now. So that's exciting. So this next one will be on the new album. And I think I think about sort of the implications of this song a lot. I think one of my favorite things about living in the era that I live in, I guess you're here too, the era that we live in. It's not just me, I think. I don't think I'm a simulation. How are we to know? Anyway, one of my favorite things about living in this era is I think a lot of our society is learning to see middle ways and gray areas in a lot more places than, I don't know, the decades leading up to my birth, I suppose. And sort of like a lot of that happens with sexuality, a lot of that happens with gender. And then in one of the sort of most acute ways that I experience it is with alcohol. That like, it seems like especially in music, it's like we romanticize like drinking way too much whiskey or drinking way too much beer or just like wine being your personality. Or if you're sober, then everyone's like, good on ya. And then it like, which is wonderful. And like in real life, dependence on alcohol, not chill. Being sober, hella chill. Also, I feel like we never talk about like the in-between and like how can we figure out how our relationships, if we're people who don't want to, I don't know, remove alcohol from our lives, sort of deal with what's contributing to why we don't use it well generally as a society. Anyway, here's a song called Emergency Champagne, which sounds goofy. All right, after my very introspective intro, I'm like, isn't this such a funny name? I'm gonna sing a song now because I've talked long enough. I kept a bottle of emergency champagne in my closet before I lived with people I trust not to steal my booze, and I always have a backup in case I need to pop it to celebrate accomplishments or unexpected news. But when the champagne sugar rush abruptly takes its leave and the sun comes shining rudely through the trees, it can be sobering to take stock and see if I believe that I was worth it all. Just little old me. If I was worth it all, just little old me. I kept a couple of emergency apologies was handy when he had me believing that every fault was mine, and I never asked for nothing in case I seemed demanding, in case it seemed conceited to think I deserved his time. But then you left me strong enough that I began to see underneath all the sorries that you sift through patiently something sobering, the person I was made to be, and that I am worth it all, just little old me, that I am worth it all, just little old me. So I am through with confetti love that melts in the rain, and I am through with the buzz of a love like champagne, and the sunlight through our window feeds the seeds of this love with a brightness that I'm not afraid of. I got a bottle of emergency champagne in the kitchen, and when it's time to pop it, I won't just drink it down, 'cause I seldom feel the need now to get a bit too tipsy. Guess this is what it's like to build a life that I want to be around. And when the champagne sugar rush fades and the day breaks, I can own my joys and own my mistakes. And it's sobering to choose every day to see that I am worth it all, just little old me, that I am worth it all, just little old me. Thank you. Do we think I got two more in the sorry to look into your lens instead of into your eyes. Stares into the camera lens. Dan, can I play 2 more songs?
Yeah.
Is that legit?
Actually, I have a request. You probably don't want to end on this.
Great.
Strange reunion.
Oh, cool. Toss that in there.
Cool.
Sweet. So the song, that was my emotion about the song that Dan requested, not the fact that Dan requested a song. I'm not like, Dan. I'm like, grief. So, actually, this song I think was one of the first. The truth is that I need to change my strings. This is all my fault. Which maybe, since this is going to go on the internet machine, I shouldn't have said. It's not my fault. It's all the humidity. It's not my strings at all. Forget what I said. What's happening to me? This was one of the first songs that I sort of got finished writing it and was like really proud of the thing that I had crafted and the way that I had crafted it, which being a song about something really delicate for me and my family felt like a bizarre combination of things to hold. Like, I did a really good job. Also, I did a really good job at something very sad. But I also think the thing is that it's one of the songs people thank me for singing the most. And that's why I write songs that are so melancholy and about such painful things, is that not everyone puts things into words the way songwriters do. And I used to feel, feel conceited thinking that and saying that, not everybody does this, but that's the whole thing. Everybody else does things that I can't do either. And if I can put into words things that other people feel, and then they can experience catharsis through that, it's literally why I'm here. So this song is called Strange Reunions. I had hoped to see you sooner, but I never thought we'd see each other here. so tragic. He was way too young. No man should lose his only son. Thanksgiving just won't be the same this year. I wish that you were smirking in the corner, hearing what they have to say. And I wish your absence weren't the reason they're all here today. It's colder in your father's eyes than it is outside, and I know I need to breathe, but I keep holding it, thinking maybe you'll come through the door and it'll all be like before. Maybe it's a dream and we'll wake up from it. You'll be smoking on my patio and worrying our mothers, and I like to think that quietly we understand each other. Yeah, usually our crew is festive, but today I'm wearing black on black on black. It's a strange, strange reunion you've called for, 'cause so many lives you led, so many lives you changed. How strikingly wrong that you're the one who's been shortchanged. I've heard Great Uncle Al sometimes lies down on his cemetery plot just to see if he'll fit. Yeah, he's a little off his rocker, but we all are, and it's high time we admitted it. Well, this shouldn't have been out, but it sure as hell shouldn't have been you. Sure as hell, or somewhere darker, nobody had prepared themselves for you. It's a strange, strange reunion you've called for, 'cause I think the biggest one I've seen for good reason. And we didn't bury you in Allegheny County, but we raised you up in Cleveland. You tested every limit. You learned it from your dad, and yours was one of the freest spirits that this family had. You flew nests and you hopped fences, and you were coming to a sense of where you'd been and who you'd be and where you'd go. And when you fell, it was by no fault of your own. It's a strange, strange reunion you've called for, 'cause reminding us all just who and how to love. And no matter how many times we say it, it can never be enough. Thank you. I think I'll close with something marginally more uplifting. It's only ever marginal. That's why every once in a while I drop in a cover somewhere, because I'm like, have I ever written something purely uplifting? Even Let Me Be is like, remember how hard it was to be a teenager and not know how to use ourselves in the world? Let's be honest. Do we now? Unclear. But this song, so the first song I played is called Not Okay. It's sort of the not title track of False Foundations. You know, their feet firmly planted in a false foundation. Ha! Name of the album. Not the name of the song, though. I don't know why I just wagged my finger at you. So Not Okay was sort of my theme song for a long time. And So I wrote a song called Soar when I was in high school about all my dreams, and that was my theme song. And then a few years later, I wrote Not Okay, and then that was my theme song for like 10 years. And now I have a new theme song called Light of Mine that will be on the next record. And this is now where I do the obligatory thank you so much for that's not obligatory. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you for being here. This is genuine emotion. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Aaron. Thank you. Wow, my brain went Okra, Orzo, Ozark, Onyx. Thank you, Onyx, for being a Chihuahua. Thank you all for being here and supporting live music, because goodness knows it's one of the most important things to me in the world, obviously. Anyway, so those are all the not obligatory things. The obligatory things are over there. I have business cards and CDs and T-shirts and a mailing list. Literally, what's happening to me. Also, my Not Okay T-shirts, first of all, because they're directly associated with the album that's going to be in the past, I kind of want to get them out of my house. And also, some of them were bleached in the sun, because when you leave your T-shirts in a box that's open in the car, sometimes the sun has a fight with your T-shirts, is what I learned last month. So if there's a messed up one, you can have it for literally any amount of dollars you want. And if there's a not messed up one, you can just tell me it's messed up. And you can have it for literally any amount of dollars you want. Except not negative. It has to 0 or above. I'm not in a position to offer you money to take my damaged T-shirts. Anyway, here's my final song. Thank you for listening, and I'm super stoked to hear Genevieve. So, yay. I don't think I've ever applauded with my guitar before. It is a weird day. Chris knows. It's a weird day. Nothing that is related to each other. The whole world's just having a weird day. Unless any of you are not having a weird day. I keep thinking it's fine. So much better. I've got myself on lost but not quite found, sitting in the sand, some kind of wise man to build on someone else's idea of solid ground. Let them draw the plans that only I can. And I've got that cracked foundation pulled apart, but I need a shelter for the fire in my heart. This little light of mine, she's all I have, she's all I hold, all I control. So I'm keeping my heart and mind on this little light of mine. Dropping by to tell me who I am. Well, I don't know you, and I wouldn't claim to, and you're not around to see me fertilize the land. What I sift through so I can make roots. Somehow I don't think you're here to hear my song, just to tell me how my fire has steered me wrong. But this little light of mine, she's all I have. funny how you think that I don't know. The girl you're fighting isn't in my home. You're talking past me to a fantasy, and it used to make me feel scared and alone, to be so unseen, to feel so unclean. But I don't have to let your edict through my door, 'cause honey, it's not you I built this shelter for, but this little light of mine. And she's all I have, she's all I hold, all I control, and she's downright divine. Oh, this little light of mine. Thank you so much.
Yeah, we're gonna take about 5 to 8 minutes, something like that, break, and we'll start with Genevieve next.
We have snacks outside, snacks and drinks, and that's on the house. Like Rachel, we'd like to move those things along, so please take them home and take them to your children, grandchildren, pets.